Right, so I'd just like to say good evening, everyone, and a huge, warm, heartfelt welcome, and thank you for being with us this evening on this Tuesday, the 23rd of June. This is module number 4 of 8 modules to learn how to access our infinite inner power through, first of all, understanding some basic theories, and then most importantly, putting in daily practices which will enable us to change the trajectory of our lives. So up until now, we've talked a lot about going into the silence and being calm and, you know, taking a moment for ourselves every single day, going through the 4 stages of, first of all, sitting down and in a quiet place and just watching the millions of thoughts that go through our mind at goodness knows what speed, which is a little bit disturbing if we hadn't actually realized that that's what was happening before. Then the second stage was learning how to stop thinking, which is really, really hard, right? Anybody tried to stop thinking and managed it for more than 3 seconds? Not much. The third one is letting go and really relaxing the body. The 4th stage is letting go of all the fears, anxieties, guilt, resentment, anger, frustration, just letting it go and letting it flow out of the body. It's a really powerful process, and even though I've been, you know, doing that every day for, you know, a couple of years now, to actually go through a structured process of silence, letting go, you know, relaxing the body, purposefully going through that process, I found it really, really useful. So I hope that that is a new habit that will be now permanently part of your self-care, of your daily routine. We know that all the great inventors, the great artists, the great musicians, great scientists, the great writers, all of them went into the silence to get their inspiration and their ideas. And by so doing, we already place ourselves in a position of, you know, out there on the leading edge, just by having this daily practice of being still. It's probably the most important thing. We know that the first 20 minutes or so when we wake up is when the subconscious mind is the most receptive. So again, we want to be aware of this so we can spend those first 20 minutes, half an hour doing something which is loving for ourselves. You know, silence, meditation, just sitting, deep breathing, doesn't matter. But just being still, and that's when we will allow ourselves to really then, as I say, tap into that huge power and infinite intelligence that's in all of us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. You know, we are all special and none of us are special. You know, we're all special and none of us are special. Every single one of us has an equal amount of power, access to higher intelligence, capacity. The people that seem to have more of it are the ones that just knew how to use it. Okay, and so what we're going to talk about today is probably the most important method of learning how to use that infinite power that we have within us. Okay. I kind of reduced it down to about 5 or 6 different things that we can do, but this one is the most important. It's been detailed and step by step in the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and writers of his time, such as Wallace Wattles, Florence Scovel Shinn, Charles Haanel, Neville Goddard, all those kind of writers from that, they all are saying the same thing, but just with their own words. But they all point to the same truth, that we have within us this unlimited power, this unlimited energy and light and, you know, beautiful intelligence that we can all tap into if we want to, okay? But we need to know how to. It's all very well being conceptual, but you know, how the hell are we going to get in there, right? So the first thing, once again, is going into the silence. You know, it doesn't have to be you don't have to sit there, you know, going om. You can if you want to, of course, but it really is just about learning how to, you know, those deep breathing, purposeful breathing, mindful breathing is often enough just to access that inner intelligence. And, you know, sometimes I find if I need to ask a question or I feel a bit stuck, I'll ask the question, you know, so what do I need to do about X, Y, and Z? Relax, and guaranteed I'll get the answer that I've been looking for. It's not always the one I want, but it's always very, very accurate. And then we must learn to trust that answer and act upon it, even if it doesn't make that much sense, because it's always right. Okay. So some of you will have watched the interview that Alan Nagao did on Saturday. I do have the video link now, so that you can review it again and again and again if you want to. I watched it 3 times now, and I've learned more things every single time. And I was like, oh, I didn't pick that up the first time. Oh, I didn't pick that up, because the devil is in the detail.
There we go.
Josine? Oh no, hang on. I can mute her now. Okay, great. So I've tried to condense this into, you know, what we have a limited amount of time, but really it is now about explaining more about how to write this definite main purpose statement. Okay. Oh, bless you. Whoever just sneezed, Tasman's house. So the definite main statement, main purpose statement is something that I've known about because I've read Think and Grow Rich about 8-9 years ago for the first time, read it quite a few times and listened to the audio many times since. But I didn't really know how to make it work for me. I didn't know how to teach it. I didn't know how to really structure it in such a way that it would really go deep, you know, because we can read and we can have this definite main purpose statement, but if it doesn't go to the heart, if it doesn't go to the feeling, we can repeat it 1,000,000 times and nothing will change. We probably will. We'll just get more frustrated because we're like, this damn thing isn't working, right? You know, what's wrong with me? Okay, and then we start trying to intellectualize it. So for the first time ever, I was taught by Alan last year how to structure this in such a way that everybody could do it no matter what level of personal development we're on, because we all come in, said many times before, everybody has their own unique starting point. Isn't that great? We're like a fabulous mosaic of talents and experiences and knowledge and vibration and power, you know, all that comes, all of us coming together, just as I say, for these few minutes on a Tuesday. So first of all, it really is about, you know, the first and most important thing is, what is the one thing that you want most? The one thing that you want most. If you have more than one thing, it's like trying to chase 2 rabbits. You ain't going to catch any. Okay? You've got to choose one thing. Okay? Don't make it a hard thing. If you don't know what that is, just go into the silence and meditate and say, you know, okay, so what is it I really want here? What's my main definite purpose here right now? Just right now. It's not, you know, for life. It's just now. Is it money? Is it love? Is it health? Is it just more wisdom? You know, we don't need more information. We just need more wisdom. Okay? We've probably got too much information. We need more wisdom, more imagination, you know, more love. But ultimately, you've got to have one definite main purpose. Okay? So for this particular example, we're going to use the example of money. Okay? Because even if you don't feel that you need any more money, actually, we live in a very, very privileged environment. And even if you don't want more money for yourself, money does a lot of good and you can use it to help others. Okay. So don't ever say, I don't want any more money, or I don't need any more money. We all have the opportunity in our wonderful countries that we live to make as much money as we wish to do so. And if you don't want to keep it for yourself, of course, we all need it for the basic necessities, you can do a lot of good with it. We've seen that all over the world. Okay. Just got one microphone which is open. I can't find where it is. Let's have a look here, shall we? Sorry. Oh, okay, we've got a couple actually. I'm just trying to mute a couple because just trying to stay focused on what I'm sharing. Okay, so we're going to use money as the example. Even though I did some deep work during the week, and I was saying to myself, I said to myself when after this kind of like looking for inspiration, I said, it has to be more than the money. Okay, for me, it had to be more than the money. Up until a certain point, you know, the past few years, it's been all about the money to survive, okay, provide for my family. You know, I had to get to a certain level to be able to cover the bills and pay for the children's education and then, you know, all the rest of it and live a nice life, all right, without necessarily rolling in opulence, but what we call a freedom number, okay? But now it has to go beyond that. So it's been a massive, massive shift. I think that's, you know, not want to go too much into personal, but I think that's why I had several weeks where I was floating a little bit because I'd kind of lost a bit of direction, because when you're comfortable materially, it's actually quite a dangerous place to be because you can get a bit lazy. So you have to find another, what you really want, and then especially why you want it. Okay, so you have to get clear. This is the most important thing, because if you're not clear, you'll be chasing not two but thousands of rabbits, and you'll be scattered. And just like light, when it's concentrated, it's powerful like a laser, and when it's spread and it's scattered, it's not powerful. Okay, do you agree? So this is the whole pivotal point here of being clear on exactly what we want most. Doesn't mean to say we don't want other things as well, but the other things we want will come under it to support that main definite purpose. All right. So I did make some very bad slides, which then I would like to say thank you to Tasmin, who turned them into beautiful slides that I'm going to share today. Sorry, it's just and obviously this is being recorded, so you'll be able to review it if you want to do so. So the first thing is as I said, we need to really decide what we want most. Okay, what do we want most? It's the opening line in Think and Grow Rich. What do you want most? Okay, what do you want most? And then once we've figured that out, it might take a bit of time, doesn't matter. You know, imagine that you're building a house and you're working with an architect, and the architect says, well, what do you want? You're like, whoa, okay. So it's going to be maybe a bit of time to get the clear thing in your mind, but don't worry, just get started. You don't have to be great to get started, you just got to get started to be great. Okay, so just get started. When I write my definite purpose statement, it takes me at least 4 weeks, and I'm just tweaking it every day, making it better and better and more powerful and more powerful, you know. And I've just tweaked mine again this evening, you know. So please don't think that you've got to give it one shot and it's got to be perfect from the get-go. Not at all. Enjoy the process. All right. So you figured out what you want most. Okay. The next thing is, how do I build enough self-confidence and faith in myself to believe that I can achieve it? Okay. So imagine we know what we want, and now we need self-confidence to believe we can achieve it. Does this make sense? Okay, so what we want is the material thing, and the confidence is the thing that will give it the energy to permit its realization. Right? And so the good news is it's pretty basic, actually. So the first thing you've got to do is set a date 1 year from now. All right. Why? Because for whatever reason, and I don't have all the answers, but the subconscious mind seems to work best when you give it a timeline of a year. It's just far enough to achieve something significant, but not too far away to not to have it out of sight. All right. Anyway, we always work 1 year from now. So, for example, it is the 23rd of June, 2021. So we're always working in the present tense, even though we're talking about 1 year from now. And that is the first line of your definite purpose statement. Okay, you might not decide that you're ready to write it. It might be in a week's time or tomorrow, whatever, but use the date and give it 1 year. All right, but it is the, okay, because the subconscious mind does not know the difference between now and in a year's time. You need to know that the clearer and more detailed image that you have in your mind of what you want, the faster will come the realization. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about how to develop the imagination next week. But this is the first thing, is it's the 23rd of June, 2021. Okay, so far so good. Can you all do that? Yay. Okay. Second, so as I say, we're going to talk about having a money goal. It doesn't mean to say we're going to visualize gold bars coming into our lap or money flowing into the bank account, okay, because it's very difficult to visualize actual money. But you need to set a figure, okay? So we need to give in specific instructions to the subconscious mind, which will take instructions whether they're good or bad. It is not a reasoning faculty. Our reasoning faculty is our conscious mind. Our subconscious mind is not a reasoning faculty. It just executes instructions, whether they are good or bad. The more feeling we give those instructions, the faster their realization. Exactly like you've got something on your laptop or your computer, and you want to print out a piece of paper, you send the image to your printer and it will print out the exact replica. The printer isn't going to say, oh no, I don't like what you've asked me to print, I'm not going to print that, will it? It just does what it's told. Okay, so your conscious mind is the driver. Your subconscious mind is the thing that will execute orders exactly to the orders that you give it, just like a printer, right? This is how powerful this is. So first of all, you're going to think of an amount of money you would like to earn. You're going to make that amount of money around about double of what's a kind of a good month for you normally. All right? If you're making 5 a month and you put, I'm going to make £100,000 a month, your subconscious mind will try and do that, but it will be too much effort for you, and you won't eat, and trying to build that kind of a belief in a year is just not going to happen. So we've got to stay reasonable, okay? So about double of a good average month, okay? Maybe not your best month, but about double, okay? And then you're going to write step 2, I, and then your name, Karen Ridge. I, Bridget Long, I'm so happy and grateful to receive X amount of dollars or pounds per month in income from my business, from my job, from my side business, whatever it might be, okay? Wherever you want it, from my new coaching program, from my yoga school, I don't know, whatever it is, all right? You must put your name in there. My name, am now so happy and grateful. So here's a little trick I learned during the week that might add a bit more impact to this. I learned how to transcend to another part in time. So do you agree that today is Tuesday? Okay, you know it's Tuesday, don't you? What I want you to do now is imagine that today is Sunday. You're going to feel different, aren't you? You feel different when you wake up on a Sunday than you do on a Monday? We do, don't we? Oh, Sunday. Get a bit of brunch, get a bit of a walk on, catch up with the fam. We feel a bit different maybe on a Sunday or a Saturday or a Friday. Okay? We all have an emotional feeling or attachment according to the day of the week. Do you agree? It's making sense? Okay. So when you start to become conscious of the fact that we have a different emotional attachment, Friday night, Friday night, you're in the UK, you go down the pub, right? Because it's Friday. Why? So you feel different, okay? Yeah, it's Friday, party time, okay? So you feel different. Tuesday night, it's a school night. You feel different. So what you're going to do with the date is start to connect the feeling with your actually living that day. With a little bit of effort, you can do that, okay? Acknowledging the fact that we feel different about different days of the week, we can actually mentally project ourselves as if we are in that moment and it is the actual day that's in our definite purpose statement. It's like traveling in time. Okay, just try it occasionally. It's really good fun. When I first did it, for those of you in the UK, I was standing in the queue at Hobbycraft and I was listening to an audio. I was like, whoa, okay, I've just projected myself to the 8th of May 2021. That was such an amazing experience. So you can do that, understanding that whatever day, you can really feel yourself being in that day. And then attach yourself to the feeling that you're going to have, knowing that whatever the income you have put in, that you are now receiving it. So happy, excited, grateful. Wow, amazing. Okay, because the more feeling that you put into these thoughts, the higher the vibration, the more powerful they are. Okay, it's a thought, it's the feeling attached to it, which equals the realization or the manifestation. Just the thought alone is not good enough. You have to attach a feeling to it, okay? It gives it the energy and the dynamics that it's necessary, all right? So you've got to really connect to your feeling, your emotion, and your heart. Feel good about it, all right? So that's point number 2. Number 3, what are you going to do to receive this? So we've got to take action. Okay? Unfortunately, nobody yet has figured out how you can sit in the middle of a field going and gold coins will fall out of the sky. Nobody's figured that one out yet. Okay? Maybe one day it will be possible. I don't know. But for the moment, we have to figure out, what we need to do each day to be able to be consistent in action. Now, because Jo is my friend and she is an amazing yoga teacher, I'm going to use Jo as an example. So say Jo's dream is to have a yoga school. Okay, I know we've talked about this in the past, to have an amazing sort of like a retreat type place out in the country. Is that right, Jo? Something like that? You've dreamed about that and have amazing classes and beautiful food and all that, right? Okay, so that might be your dream. Okay, so then she sat down and sort of said, okay, well, to do this, maybe I wouldn't need to buy somewhere. I could just, rent an amazing property and turn it into a business. And for that, I'd need, I know, £5,000 a month and whatever. Okay, so she needs £5,000 a month to get this project off the ground. Okay, so how is she then going to start building that clientele and that business on a daily basis to ensure that when her school opens, she has enough people to come in every day to make it a viable concern? All right. So you have to figure out, according to whatever your business is, what you need to do on a daily basis to build up your business, or maybe you're in a job and you want a big promotion. What do you have to do extra every single day as an action plan to be able to accomplish what you want to do? Some people will need to speak to 3 new contacts a day. If you're in a sales and marketing job, maybe, some companies demand you to do 50, I don't know. Okay. Some people will, and then some people will need to do, I use Jo's case, for example. She'll need to do, to speak to people personally, maybe other yoga teachers or Pilates teachers or therapists who might want to join with her on the adventure. So every single day I'm going to speak to 1 new therapist who may be interested in joining my business. Okay. You've got to figure out your action plan. It has to be focused and consistent every day. Don't make it so high that you can't be consistent. Don't make it so low that it's not, it doesn't keep you in good momentum. maybe if you're in a sales business, I need to make one sale a day of X amount of pounds or dollars, which will enable me to make that income at the end of the month. You have to break it down, right, into an action plan. We have a technique in our business called the 3 3s, 3 contacts a day, 3 presentations a day. It can be a presentation of the product or a presentation of the opportunity, and 3 sales a week. Okay, they're what we call the minimums. Because it's important to build a happy customer base and so on. So, whether you're in an employee or whether you have a business, it doesn't matter. An action plan is absolutely key. Okay, so break it down again. Silence in the morning, little bit of, read the Miracle Morning if you need a good routine, you want to get started, a little bit of exercise. Tony Robbins, everyone know who Tony Robbins is? He says, as soon as you get out of bed, you'll do 30 arm pumps, like that. Bring all the energy into you. Get yourself full of vital energy. Very, very powerful, very powerful. It's good for the bingo wings as well. So that kind of process, and then when you wake up, you have a plan. Okay, every day I'm going to do this, this, and this. All right. Now, this definite main purpose statement isn't just a wish, it's a burning desire. If you don't have a burning desire to achieve this, and you're not willing to let other things come second, it's going to be very slow and difficult. That's what we say by a burning desire. Okay. Now, I'm going to use myself again as an example because it's my story. I'd lost my burning desire because my burning desire was like to be financially afloat, right? Oh, I've got to survive, right? And then suddenly when that goes away, you've got to find a new burning desire. A burning desire that will keep me here when I live on the beach and I could spend, 8 hours a day on the beach, which is 2 seconds from where I live. Okay, that's got to be a strong burning desire. Burning desire, and so to a point where you're going to, it doesn't feel like sacrifice because you want it so bad. You're ready to do anything, whatever it takes. Someone said to me yesterday, I was talking to this lady in Australia who's a coach, and she said, what method do you use to coach people? She said, this method or that. I said, no. I said, I qualify them. They have to have a burning desire and be willing to do whatever it takes. Okay, that's it. And you'll be successful. So you can see it's important to have that real desire to know what you want most, what's the most important. It might be love. It might be a new husband or wife or whatever it might be. And if it is, then, the same principle applies. Write down all the qualities that you want in that person. See if you've got all those qualities. Mark yourself out of 10. And then just, use this every day. Okay. So an action plan, that's point number 3. Now, this is the fun bit. We're going to have a little personality quiz. Okay. Another one. Who do I need to become? And basically, this is the deal. All right. This is the fun bit. Okay. So basically we have 4 dominant personality types. All right. We're all a mixture of a bit of everything, but we normally have one which is more dominant than the others, and then we normally have a subdominant. Okay, so to make things fun and simple, we use animals as an example. Okay, so we are all one of these 4 in a dominant. We have lions, monkeys, elephants, and dolphins. All right, so a lion is somebody who's very strong, competitive, really, task-oriented, very focused on goals. Okay, that's a lion. Right? Problem with lions is that they're impatient, they're a little bit controlling and demanding, they're not very flexible, and they're not very loving. Okay? Why? Because inside they don't love themselves very much. And they keep comparing and they keep saying, I'm not good enough. Can't. And then other people watch that person and say, well, I don't want to work with them because I couldn't do what she or he does. So Lions have so many qualities, but they just need to be a bit more vulnerable and a bit more gentle. Okay? So if you recognize that quality in yourself, in this definite purpose statement, you need to say, I am patient, I'm gentle, I'm flexible, and I'm loving. Okay? If you feel that's you. Then we're going to go to the monkeys. That's me. I'm like, as my daughter says, you're a monkey, but a wannabe lion. And so monkeys are people who are not very focused. They've got loads of energy. They love having fun. And, you know, they love being on stage. But they lack discipline and focus. Oh, and they earn a lot of money and they spend even more. Okay? Not very good with it. They just like tend to like, woo, yeah, I can afford that, and just, you know, a bit rash. All right? A little bit impetuous, I might say. So monkeys need to learn how to be disciplined, focused, well organized, and punctual. All right? So maybe you recognize a little bit of yourself in that. Then we have elephants. Okay, now these are kind of like the thinkers. They're doctors, lawyers, accountants, computer analysts. You know, they love the detail. All right, they need everything to be perfect. They need to know everything before they will take action. Right, they don't feel secure by taking action when they don't feel they have complete mastery of whatever they're taking action on. Okay, underneath that really is just a lack of confidence. All right, so with elephants, we're going to really help them become spontaneous and wild and sexy and explosive. I am. Remember this. I am is the most important 2 words you will ever say in your life. Please never say, I am no good at. I am not good at. Don't ever say that. Okay, I am in the process of learning how to become better at. You see the difference? It's important, right? So this is elephants, all right? I mean, I don't know if anybody can imagine a spontaneous, wild, sexy, and explosive accountant, but this is what we're going to try. We're going to try and do here, okay? And have fun doing it. All right. And then finally, dolphins. Now, dolphins are people who are very gentle. They're very beautiful. They're very helping and patient and listening. They love listening to people. They're like a sponge. Everybody comes to them with their problems. Okay? The problem with dolphins is that they put everybody's needs before themselves. Right? Kids, parents, spouse, friends, strangers, you know, they just put everybody before themselves because they don't feel that they're very deserving. All right, they need more confidence and they need more power. So if, for example, you know, you feel that your dominating personality is, you know, you're a little bit too self-effacing, you know, you need to keep saying, I am a leader, I'm powerful, and I'm confident. Okay? And then say it with feeling. So here's a couple of examples. All right, so if you're a monkey dolphin, I'm focused, I'm disciplined, I'm a confident leader. I am a woman or I am a man of completion and it's my turn now. Okay, so all the things that you're not, you're going to turn it into the things that you're saying that you are. Okay, because at the moment you don't feel very focused and disciplined. It's my massive, massive challenge every day, you know, focus, focus, focus. Okay, and I know that the people who are most successful in life are the ones who have the most focus. God damn. so I really, really, really have to get focused. Okay, especially when you want to go to the next level, which requires huge stretch of focus. If you're a lion monkey, I'm patient, I'm flexible, I'm disciplined, I'm loving to myself and I'm loving to others. I'm a leader of completion. All right. Maybe you're a thinker and a dolphin, an elephant and a dolphin. Okay, so I'm powerful, sexy, and confident. Yes, I'm a leader of action, 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 and it's my turn now. Okay, have fun with this. Play around with it. Again, just think of yourself as an architect. You're just drawing up some plans and you're making the most important construction of your life, which is your definite purpose statement. Okay, I promise you this works. It might seem a bit crazy to those of you hearing it for the first time, but as they say, crazy people, crazy money. Normal people, normal money. Okay, so we're not here for very long. We might as well just have a crazy time, right? All right. So during the day, you might find a little help if you want some positive additional affirmations that you can add in if you want to. I will upload these slides into the group as well so you can see them, and obviously I'm not going to read all these out. You know, I deserve this, I can do it, I can be what I will to be. If it is to be, it is up to me. These are the ones I just repeat to myself over and over and over again, especially in the early days when I was trying to build my confidence, okay, and my belief in myself, my self-sense of worth, my sense of deserving. I mean, all that, I had to pull myself out of a really black hole, you know. I always have positive feedback. The journey is fun. It doesn't matter what others say. Anybody a little bit, you know, don't like criticism or afraid how people are going to react to what you do or say? Everybody. Because we're not an island, are we? Of course, we're always affected by other people's opinions, right? And if people are nasty and mean and they, you know, are not nice, then we're affected by it. Okay, so always keep yourself buoyant during the day, and have a few little affirmations in your back pocket that you can just pull out if you have a little moment. Mine in the beginning, when I had a lot of money issues, was I always have enough money I always have money for everything I need and plenty to spare. I just used to say it again and again and again. I always have all the money I need for what I need and plenty to spare. So you're creating that lovely feeling of abundance. All right. Another thing I use a lot, because I'm always chasing time, is I have all the time I need and plenty to spare. You know, I started this business that I have now late, you know, 47, and I see all these youngsters at 25, and I'm thinking, God damn, is it too late? Is it too late? I have all the time I need and plenty to spare. Okay? So whatever you feel is lacking, whatever you feel is missing, find an affirmation that will switch it to a positive. And just, you know, just repeat it. For goodness sake, you've got to just wash out the turkey pan, as we've spoken about before. Scrub that pan out. All right. Sorry, I'm just going to turn the light on. I've got to go under my desk to do this. I've figured out how to make it a little bit more practical, yeah? Right, it's just that time of the evening where we need a bit more light. So what are you going to do with this lovely money? Okay? Something for you, something for the family, and something for the world. All right. As women particularly, we're very good at spending money on the family, you know, and making sacrifices. We don't think first and foremost something for us. So I've been working on what I would want for me. And I thought, I'll just write a little wish list. Anyway, there's about 40 things on it now. Just keeps adding on and adding on. You know, I Googled luxury handbag today and came across a $2.5 million Birkin bag by Hermes, and I was like, I probably don't need that one. You know, it's just like, trust me to find that one online, right? So something for you, whether it be something small or big, or maybe you want to save up for a trip. So, you know, every month I'm saving £500 a month towards the holiday of a lifetime, you know, I don't know, or a safari or trip to New Zealand or whatever it might be. Okay, something like that maybe. Or it might be just every third weekend I treat myself to a spa weekend, you know, whatever it might be. Okay, something for you, just for you. Then something for the family. Okay, something for the family. You know, I'm really excited because, you know, the family and I have planned an amazing trip together, and every month we put away £1,000 towards this incredible world tour that we're doing next year, for example. Or, you know, every month I treat all the family, you know, my parents and my friends to a fabulous, you know, dinner somewhere, whatever it is. Okay. And then something for the world. What do you want to do to give back? We have to give back. We want to give back, right? Everybody wants to do good for others as well. Okay. Otherwise it's meaningless. You know, we're motivated by 4 things: love, potential, fun, and meaning. Okay. So we need meaning in our life. There must be something to you that's special, and that you could, and even if you can't give money at the moment, give time. Okay. Even if it's just once a week or once a month or a few hours or whatever it might be, find a way to give back regularly, consistently, not just once, but do it all the time. Okay. Make this your masterpiece. Make this definite purpose statement your masterpiece. Okay. Give it love, give it time, enjoy the process. Teach it to your children. Okay. If they're receptive. Mine are very receptive at the moment. You know, I get rolling eyes because I've got, you know, teenagers and things. Well, my son's not too bad, but yeah, but you know, teach it to the receptive ones of people around you. I always say the best way to learn how to do this, just teach it to others. Do it and tell them what you've done. And do it over and over and over again. And the more you do, the stronger your own definite purpose will start to come to life. It will start getting multi-dimensional, and the you know, the more fun it is and the better results you'll get. Okay. And then finally, thank you. Yes, it's done. Okay. You've got to give huge gratitude. And when you say it is done, it's not about it's going to be done or it will be done, because you're constantly then putting it into the future. It's done now. It's done now. Okay. And this is where it requires a little bit of effort and practice to think, well, it's not done now, because where is it? Okay. This is where the practice comes in, and we'll go into it a little bit more next week, about developing the imagination. So what you see that you want to create is clearer than what you see in your outside world. So clear, so detailed, so real. You can see the colors, you can feel it, you can see it, you can smell it, you can hear it, you can touch it, okay? So real. And then what will happen when you go into the silence and you start just starting to imagine? The first day, you'll get a bit of a hazy image. The second day, a few more details will start to appear. The third day, a few more. And then the colors and sounds, whatever it might be, of what you want to achieve. Okay? It's not about achieving the money, it's about what you're going to do with it. That's what you're going to visualize. That's what you're going to visualize, and you're going to visualize on one thing. Preferably the thing that you want for you. Okay? And then you just go through the process. The key, twice a day, set your alarm. Okay? Set your alarm. As early as you can in the morning and just before bed, and it has to be said out loud. Okay? It has to be said out loud. You can't just read it in your head, you have to say it out loud. You're going to feel a bit weird in the beginning, but it does, you know, just know that this works, and we've had incredible results with this. All right? The exactitude with which you do this will have the exactitude of the results. This like fairly normal, right? So there we are. We found out what we want. We've declared it. We've detailed it. We know. Now, there's an example. Oh, sorry. Okay. So it is the 23rd of June, 21. I am your name. So I am, for example, no. I, Bridget Long, am now so happy and grateful to receive £5,000 a month in commission with my side business. I commit to my action plan. I focus, discipline, and patience. I'm a woman of completion. I pay for a spa weekend and relax and enjoy myself every month. Okay, woohoo, that's for me. I take my children to a water park once a month. I'm a Nourish the Children ambassador. Thank you, universe, for it is done. Simple as that. And then you need to learn it by heart. Okay. So that's the bit about what I want. The second bit It's about having the confidence and the belief to realize it. All right? Because if you already had the confidence to realize it, you would have already realized it. Okay, so now you need to really build your belief. I'm not going to read this out loud. You can see this, the script in the group. But the whole thing about the self-confidence formula is, once again, you have to surrender and understand that this works. Don't ask why. It just does. Okay, this is an incredible, incredible script. We were told to learn it by heart. That was a challenge in itself, but we did. We did. And there are just one or two things I want to really point out to you in order for you to understand one or two things. So this point here, I concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become. Choose one person who you really admire, a business leader, a thought leader, whatever it is, and study that person. Any information you can get on them. Reading, video, audio, podcasts, whatever it might be. Study it over and over and over and over again to get into how they think, how they react, how they analyze, how they use their subconscious mind, whatever it might be. Get into that person who you really aspire to. This isn't about being them, it's just using them as a tool of inspiration. Okay? But just choose one person and just do it over and over and over again. Okay? One leader, whoever it might be. Okay? Somebody who really seems way out there that you could never achieve. And then the other one is about every single day, you've got to do one thing to make yourself feel uncomfortable. Okay? Get out of your comfort zone. Do one thing that makes you feel uncomfortable. Spark up a conversation, join a new group, try a new activity, jump off a cliff with a bungee cord, I don't know, whatever it might be. Do something every day that gets you out of your comfort zone. Do not be a frog in boiling water. Okay? You've got to really build your courage. You know, courage is, as Walt Disney said, all your dreams will come true when you pursue them with courage. Okay, so this is going to build your courage. It will build your belief. It will build your ability to be intuitive. This is what this does. You will find yourself over the course of time doing things that you've never done before, and you don't even know why you're doing them, but you just feel the urge to do them. You feel guided in a kind of like a, you know, it's like, okay, well, suddenly I've stopped this habit that clearly wasn't good for me, but I just don't even want to do it anymore. Things just fall away. Negative people in your life just kind of disappear. It's like, yay, okay. It's miraculous. Okay, you'll suddenly start attracting other people into your life that you'll be like, oh, I've been looking for you all my life. You know, wow. So powerful, so powerful. And this is the main tool that will enable all of us to gain the power to think scientifically. This is not woo-woo. This is not, you know, something that is conceptual. It is scientific, it is factual, and it is results-based. This works 100%. Okay? Again, the effort that you put in will be the result that you get back. But it's just magical. So I think that's it. Yes. Right, well, that was a slightly longer presentation, but I really wanted to go into it into a little bit more detail. I hope you found it useful. Do you have any questions or comments that you would like to make?
I have one, Bridget.
Yes. You speak up a bit, Tony.
Sorry, I'll lift this up a bit.
Yeah. We can't hear you very well.
The first 20 minutes of the morning.
Yes.
I've been doing a program how to learn meditation. So I normally do that for the first 20 minutes
That's
every
good.
day. So is that a good, so is that 20 minutes even though I'm listening to someone else talking through a meditation? So
I mean, ideally what you want to do is actually be in total silence.
Right, okay. That's the answer.
But work towards it, you know.
Okay.
But ideally when we are comfortable in our own silence, you access a superpower that you don't get anywhere else, because there's no distraction. And in the beginning,
I've still been doing the chair thing.
huh?
I've still been doing the sit in the chair.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I do both.
Great. Yeah, well, don't stop doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing. Yeah. So whatever. But yes, it's really, really powerful. As I think you've heard me say before, you know, if the whole world knew how to sit for 15 minutes quietly in a chair, there'd be world peace.
It's strange, actually, and you start to enjoy it. So.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait to get in my little chair in the morning. It's just it's sad. Thank you, Tony. Anybody else like to ask a question or make a comment? Or share an experience? Anybody done this before? I mean, there is somebody on the call who has done it. And yes, Kathy.
Oh.
Do you want to say something, Viv? I saw you had your hand up.
I don't mind, you go.
No, go ahead. I want to hear you.
I was only going to say I had the pleasure of being on that call live on Saturday with Alan Nagel, and there was the major shift I got, because I've been doing all of this affirmations and that for years, was the feeling, that connecting the thoughts to the actual feeling. And it was the first time I really, rather than just sort of saying it by rote, I actually thought, yeah, no, I can feel myself in that Ferrari driving down the highway.
Yes.
I can feel, and it was really powerful. So, and I have been at this a long time, and Alan's is like about 2 years, like a sort of run up, and that does sound like but actually, it passes by in a flash, and there's lots of steps and along the way, like lots of gifts to pick up along the way. So it's not like you only get the prize at the end.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, it's daily. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was just going to share that with you, really.
Fantastic. And you're so right, and we forget sometimes that, to put that emotion into it is really the critical element, isn't it? Because if we don't, you say, we could repeat it till the cows come home and nothing's going to happen, which is probably demoralizing. Kathy, what would you like to share? Thank you, Viv.
Well, yeah, I just really wanted to say that Karen and I were lucky enough to be on a group a year ago, and we were introduced to the, again, Karen's actually pulled hers out. We keep it near us for all the time, because this actually was introduced to us a year ago. And at the time, when I wrote my definite purpose, I did not actually believe that it could actually happen. And it took a while. And I just want to say to everybody, when you write something, give yourself the biggest goal. And even if you don't achieve it, it's okay, because actually striving to that goal challenges you, makes you this new word that everybody's using, pivot or shift, and makes you and gets you to do uncomfortable things. And by doing uncomfortable things, not dangerous or anything, but just stuff that makes you think, ooh, feel a bit wobbly, but go ahead and do it. But the fact that you've written it down gives you that courage, because you've written it and you're visualizing it.
Yeah.
And when you do it twice a day, and believe me, that was tough, to do something. But again, we were also introduced to a book that told us to make good habits. If we're going to have a habit, change your habits to be a good habit. So this is like a good habit. And once you start doing it, I physically cannot go to bed without having done this. It's like it will not allow me to go to sleep. It's crazy.
So it's like brushing your teeth. You just like,
yeah, just like brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, I say to people, do you brush your teeth before you go to bed? And if they say no, then I think, oh, you're but if they do, then I'll just say, well, that's the same thing as doing this. It's a habit. I mean,
Yeah.
I would no sooner go to bed without cleaning my teeth than fly to the moon. No,
Well,
it's not.
yeah.
So, yeah. So
Yeah.
not that I'm being wobbly about people who don't clean their teeth at night, but I do
That's all right. Keep backtracking, Kathy.
a good habit. Yes.
So funny. It's brilliant. Yeah, well thank you. And one of the things that I did say on Saturday, and just to reiterate again, is, you know, this sometimes in the beginning, you know, we have to be a bit patient, don't we? Because we don't, you know, we will see little gifts along the way, but sometimes the first ones before they start rolling in takes a bit of time. We have to stick with it. You know, we really have to stick with it and just believe and trust that this works. It's very powerful. And then, you know, as I say, we're getting results and testimonials that are coming in to show this. And he did say as well that he's created over 30 millionaires and they have all done this. No exception. So we're like, do you know what? Why even try and be more intelligent? I'm just going to do what what seems to be working for other people. So thank you, Kathy, for that. Tasmin, you did actually send me a video that I wanted to play for everyone. Do you think I can find it? Can you remember where it is? Can you put a message in the chat?
It's on WhatsApp.
It's on WhatsApp. Oh, of course, I haven't got WhatsApp on my. I won't show the one of you in the bath. Well,
Yeah, don't show that one.
This is so strange. I just can't seem to find it. It was because Tasmin put this into action and got extraordinary results. And for some reason, no, that's not it.
Tasmin, put it into the chat and then we can.
Yeah, could you put it into the chat, Tasmin?
I'm just finding it now. 2 seconds.
Thank you, darling.
Oh, I found it.
Oh, well done. And if you could, can you upload it into the chat, or I'll just make you host?
It's just sending.
Okay, thank you. Amazing. So this is the homework, guys. Your definite purpose statement, and if you're busy, you know, think about maybe sharing next week. And because we're all here to help one another and to learn from one another. Okay, and also then when you're starting to put it into practice, then maybe, you know, some challenges you've encountered whilst writing it, and you know, sort of where you managed to get clarity from, and that kind of thing. Okay, all we're doing here is building like a scaffolding around us to prop us up until we are strong enough to stand on our own 2 feet in terms of the strength of our belief. These are like the props. Okay, there she is. So this is the main backbone of the scaffolding, if you like. And there are a couple of other things, but yes. So Tasmin, if you put that in the, why don't you just like share as you are?
Okay. I've had a bath, so excuse the bath hair. So Bridget asked me to share with my DPS and my takeaway from the self-confidence formula. So similar with Kathy and Karen, we all practically did it at the same time. And it's just it's one of those things that you hear about it and you kind of say just write it and go ahead and write everything down. So, you know, exactly echoing what Kathy said, you don't actually anchor it and understand what it is until you actually physically believe that it can happen. And I have a gratitude journey that I've morning and night, and I have my DPS in there. So what I've found for like over the last year, Bridget and me first wrote our DPSs, which started on the 8th of May it was in 2019 at Tarragona. We were in the airport and the flights were delayed and everyone else was on their phones when I had like purchased a journal and in there it had a guide of how to write your DPS. So we'd both started our DPSs on it's the 8th of May, and obviously you do it from a year from now, so it was 2020. So, you know, to cut a long story short, on the 7th of May I achieved everything in my DPS. It was a day before I'd broke Ruby. I had kind of a financial goal that I'd exceeded, and you know that it's one of those things that you don't actually believe it. And I honestly remember I said to Bridget, like, this stuff actually works. I don't know how, but it genuinely does. And
yeah,
it's one of those things. It's just, you know, just trust, like Bridget said, that, you know, successful millionaires have made this happen, and you know that we've all kind of read the Think and Grow Rich. So again, that if you have struggled to read it, because I did struggle to read it the first time, get the Audible and kind of like digest that as well. And that is physically how I self-taught myself the self-confidence formula, because you hear it and then you read it. And you know, and in a group, Kathy, Karen and myself, we would kind of read out a verse every single week in our accountability group, and then all of a sudden we were the ones that could then transit, and kind of we were the ones that knew it all. So you know, like Bridget said, pick a buddy and you know that do paragraphs with them and things like that, because that's, you know, definitely something that Karen and Kathy and me all bounced off each other for, which enabled us to learn it. So yeah, literally just go ahead and do it, and just be excited for the future.
Thank you so much, Tasmin. I did hear a testimonial today actually about this big group in the Philippines, and they have a definite purpose statement group, and every morning and every night they have to post in the group that they've done it. So everybody works together collectively to say, okay, I've done it, I've done it, I've done it. So everyone supports one another. And so again, you know, Tasmin and Kathy and Karen have been like accountability buddies for over a year now, and this is really, really key. Find a buddy, you know, get into a group of people, find other people who want to do it. Karen, yeah.
So I would agree. I have to second what Tasmin and Kathy say. Mine was a growing document. It changed a little bit through time. I upgraded it because I was hitting goals throughout doing it. But it's unbelievable if you write it down every day and you commit to it. And I know Kathy and I joke, we're afraid not to do it for fear it'll stop. Like the goodness, I, like Tasmin, was hitting my goals. You know, because mine, honestly, I just changed it today because it said on the 8th of May, and obviously with Corona, we weren't traveling, but our original goal was to go to Tarragona, which I had no idea where that was, but we didn't get to go there because no one was traveling to Europe. But honestly, mine said on the 8th of May, 2020, because we all started it on the same day. And I actually went in the other, like 2 days ago, and rewrote it for next year. But my goals have changed, but it keeps evolving. And at first it was challenging to do it, but when you write it down and you say it, and your mind changes in such positive ways that, you know, and I really thank these women and Bridget for the support and for bringing this to me, because it's been not just life-changing for my business, but I think the way I deal with people in general.
Yes, because of course, you know, there's a ricochet effect, isn't there? You know, once things start going well in one area, you know, it does have an effect on other areas as well in our, like you say, in just in our everyday affairs. And suddenly, you know, when we don't get hung up on the small stuff so much, you know, we can distance ourselves from things that other people, you know, might get sucked into, you know, various dramas that happen around the world. And, you know, it's again, I see it's a kind of a scaffolding around us, a protection almost, you know, and it enables us to really grow within a safe place. So, you know, so we're now building like a toolbox or a portfolio of different tools that you can use to enable growth, silence and meditation, and now the definite purpose statement and the self-confidence formula. Of course, there are other things like a vision board, all right? Start your vision board, and even if it seems like childish or whatever it might be, just do it and have fun with it. I've started mine. I always take so long to do mine. It's still all over my office floor in bits all over the place. I keep adding things to it and thinking about, oh, yeah, forgot that. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind putting that on it. So have fun doing your vision board, and then also share this with your friends. We know that the power of association is key to be able to grow within, you know, a circle of trust. Also, you know, look at your associations, see are the people around you uplifting you, inspiring you, energizing you, encouraging you, supporting you, believing in you. Surround yourself with people who are all part of that toolbox, if you like, okay? And you know, sometimes you do have to let people go. It doesn't mean you don't love them, it's just that they're not on the same path as you. You know, don't feel bad about it. You don't have to be mean or whatever, but always surround yourself with, you know, the doers, the change makers, the uplifters, the fun people. And then automatically, you know, we become like them. And it enables us again to have part of this amazing toolbox to grow. So that's it for this evening. I hope that you found it useful. It was quite a long structured training, but it really is that important to get this locked down before we go into, you know, a little bit more stuff about, you know, developing the imagination and so on, and then what else we can add to our toolbox in order to really build that life and get that goal and have that definite purpose statement happen in our life. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been wonderful to share these few moments with you, and thank you again, and see you all soon. Bye-bye now. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Thank you, Bridget.